The tripletes had always been the pride of their small town. Aria, Bella, and Clara, three sisters so identical in appearance that strangers often stopped them on the street, marveling at their beauty. Yet beneath the perfect symmetry of their faces lived three different souls. Aria was the fire, bold, daring, and fearless as he had always been the one to speak first, laugh the loudest, and defend her sisters with fierce loyalty. Bella was the gentle breeze, soft-spoken and nurturing, as she carried a heart so kind that people naturally gravitated toward her warmth. Clara was the storm, ambitious, intelligent, and sharp, as she had a hunger for successes that made her stand out even among her sisters. Despite their differences, they were inseparable. They shared the same classes, the same friends, and the same dreams. They even had a rule, no secrets between them. But life has a cruel way of testing the strongest bonds, and their test arrived the night Daniel stepped into their lives. It was a rainy evening. The sisters were returning from their cousin's house when their old car stalled on a lonely stretch of road. Aria was behind the wheel, cursing under her breath as the rain piled harder. Bella sat in the back seat, hugging her cardigan tightly, while Clara scrolled through her phone, trying to find a signal to call for help. Suddenly, headlights cut through the darknesses. A sleek black SUV pulled up beside them. A tall man stepped out, holding an umbrella, his shirt clinging slightly from the drizzle. His voice was calm, confident. "Need a hand?" Aria raised an eyebrow, instantly on guard. "We're fine, just a minor issue." But before she called Arc Further, he crouched near the car, checked under the hood, and within minutes had the engine going back to life. The sisters stared in disbelief. He closed the hood, brushed his hands off, and gave a faint smile. "There you go. Restarting it again." Aria turned the key, and the engine roared. As she blinked, almost impressed. "Well, thanks. Didn't know strangers still stopped to help in this world." He chuckled. "I don't usually, but something told I should." He glanced at Bella Ten, who gave him a shy smile. As she whispered softly, "Thank you, we would have been stuck all night." The man tipped his head slightly. Daniel just moved here a week ago. That was the beginning. From then on, Daniel seemed to appear everywhere. At the local cafe, reading a book by the window. At the town square, speaking with vendors about his plans for a new project. At community gatherings, always polite, always smiling. He wasn't just handsome, to his sharp jawline, deep-set eyes, and easy smile turned heads, he had a presence, a steadiness that made people trust him. The sisters found themselves drawn to him, each in her own way. Aria loved his confidence. He matched her fiery energy with calm certainty, never backing down from her bold questions. As she admired how he carried himself, how he made decisions without hesitation. To her, he was a man who could stand beside her, equal in strength. Bella loved his kindnesses. As she noticed the little things, the way he held the door open for an elderly woman, how he remembered the names of children playing in the park, how he once bought groceries for a struggling family without telling anyone. To Bella, his heart was the most beautiful thing about him. Clara, on the other hand, loved his ambition. As she learned he was an entrepreneur, building his own company from scratch. His vision for the future, his plans, his relentless drive, this mirrored her own hunger for successes. In Daniel, Clara saw not just a man, but a partner who could match her pace, someone who understood her restless ambition. At first, they kept their feelings to themselves. The sisters still lived together, still shared their meals and late-night talks, but there was an unspoken tension. Every time Daniel's name came up, silence followed. Each of them feared saying too much, feared revealing their heart. But the cracks began to show. One afternoon, Daniel invited them all to his home for dinner. He cooked himself, surprising them with his skill. Over the table, Arya teased him about his cooking style, Bella praised the flowers, and Clara asked about his future plans. Each sister thought she had caught his attention. Each believed she had a special place in his heart. After that night, jealousy quietly grew. Arya became more defensive, brushing off Bella's soft admiration with sharp remarks. "Oh, of course you like him, he sneezed to everyone." Bella withdrew, avoiding eye contact whenever Daniel was mentioned. Her gentle heart turned between love and guilt. Clara treated it like a competition. As she started dressing more elegantly, asking sharper questions, and making Sir Daniel noticed her confidence. Men like him, honest whispered to Arya, don't fall for softnesses. They want strength. But Daniel remained a mystery. He lied with Arya, listened to Bella, and debated with Clara, never showing favoritism. His kindness only deepened the confusion. The sisters' bond, honest unbreakable, began to tremble. They argued more often, small disagreements turning into bitter silences. Their mother noticed it first. "You three have always been one heart," she said one evening, her voice heavy with concern. "Don't let a man break what life itself could not." But it was too late. The storm came on a spring evening. The triplets were gathered in their garden, the air filled with the scent of blooming roses. Daniel arrived, holding a single red rose in his hand. His steps were deliberate, his face serious. The sisters froze, their breaths caught in their throats. They knew, this was the moment. Arya crossed her arms, masking her pounding heart with defiance. Bella's hands shook, her eyes wide with both hope and dread. Clara straightened her posture, as if preparing for victory. Daniel's gaze swept across their faces, three identical reflections of beauty, yet each carrying a different soul. His voice trembled slightly as he spoke. "I never expected this, but I can't hide my heart anymore. I have made my choice. Time seemed to stop. The world hushed, as though holding its breath. And when Daniel stepped forward and extended the rose to one of them, the bond that had held the sisters together for a lifetime began to shatter. "I choose you, Bella," Daniel said softly, his voice barely above a whisper as he placed the single rose in her trembling hands. For a moment, the garden fell silent. The air grew heavy. Bella's eyes widened, shimmering with young tears, her lips parting in disbelief. As she wanted this, her heart had secretly longed for it, but she also feared it, for she knew what it meant for the sisters who stood beside her. Arya's face hardened instantly. Her fiery spirit, always too quick to ignite, burst into anger. "Oh, of course," she spat, her voice cracking with both fury and hurt. "He chooses the fragile one. The one who hides behind kindness while the rest of us fight for everything." Bella flinched at her sister's words. "Arya, please, I never." "Don't," Arya snapped, turning on her heel. Her footsteps stormed across the garden, the sound of her heels echoing like thunder. For the first time in her life, she didn't care if her sisters followed. She didn't look back. Clara remained silent, her sharp eyes fixed on Bella. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. Instead, her silence was like ice, cutting deeper than Aria's rush were cold. She stepped closer to Bella, her voice low, controlled, and cold. You won a man, you whispered. But you lost us. Then walked away too, her steps calm, but her heart a battlefield. Bella stood frozen, the rose trembling in her hand. Tears spilled down her cheeks, not from joy, but from guilt so heavy it suffocated her. Danielle reached for her shoulder gently. Bella, I never wanted to hurt them. But Bella shook her head, pulling away. You don't understand, Danielle. We promised each other, since we were children, that nothing, would come between us. And now, her words broke into sobs. Danielle wanted to comfort her, but he knew he was the reason. His choice, to honest, had shattered something sacred, the unbreakable bond of three souls who had shared a life since birth. From that night onward, nothing was the same. The triplets, once inseparable, became strangers living under the same roof. Meals were quiet, later absent. Their mother tried desperately to mend the cracks. You are my daughters, my miracles, she pleaded, don't let love turn into poison. But her words were swallowed by silence. Arya chunked first. Who had once been fearless and bold, grew reckless. Went out with men barely knew, seeking validation in fleeting attention, trying to bury her pain in distractions. Each smile wore was a mask, each low hollow. Deep down, still loved Danielle, but pride kept her from admitting it. Clara immersed herself in work. Enrolled in advanced courses, spent nights buried in books and projects, determined to prove that didn't need anyone, especially a man, to define her worth. But her ambition became a catch. Built walls so high that not even her sisters could climb them anymore. And Bella had what wanted, Daniel's love. He was devoted, kind, and patient with her. Yet happiness eluded her. At night, lying beside him, stared at the ceiling and remembered the days when and her sisters would braid each other's hair, whisper secrets under the blanket, or plan their future weddings together, giggling like children. Now, the silence between them was unbearable. The guilt consumed her. Cowed and injured Daniel's embrace fully because, in gaining him, had lost the two people who had been her soulmates since birth. Months passed. Arya and Clara stopped speaking to Bella altogether. They avoided family dinners, skipped celebrations, and when forced into the same room, treated her like a stranger. Their mother's heart broke watching her daughters drift apart. But nothing said could heal what was broken. When Danielle finally proposed, Bella's joy was bittersweet. He knelt before her in a candlelit restaurant, eyes full of love. Said yes, but tears blurred her vision, because knew what saying yes meant, her sisters would never forgive her. The wedding day came. Bella stood in the mirror, radiant in her gown, but her hands trembled as the veil was placed over her face. She glanced around the bridal room, half hoping her sisters would burst through the door, lying, scolding her for crying, telling her they would stand beside her as always. But the room remained empty. When the church doors opened and walked down the aisle, Daniel waiting at the altar with love in his eyes, Bella's heart shattered silently. The pews were filled with guests, family friends, and townsfolk. But the two faces yearned to see, The two souls who had shared every stew of her life were absent. Danielle took her hands, and they exchanged vows. She smiled for him, for the guests, for the world. But behind the smile was sorrow so deep it pierced her soul. After the ceremony, when the applause died down and the guests mingled, Bella slipped away for a moment. She found herself outside, standing under the night sky. Clutching her wedding bucket, her tears fell freely now, no longer hidden. Daniel followed, concern etched on his face. Bella, what is wrong? She turned to him, her voice breaking. I love you, Daniel. But sometimes I wonder, was it worth it? Was loving you worth losing them? Daniel's face fell, guilt flickering in his eyes. He pulled her into his arms, but he didn't feel lighter. His love was real, but so was her losses. Years passed. Bella built a life with Daniel, children, a home, and the kind of love money envied. Yet every time he looked at her daughters playing together, her heart touched. He remembered braiding Aria's hair, helping Clara with homework, whispering secrets in the dark. And he wondered if her daughters would one day face the same test of love and loyalty. Aria moved to another city, chasing thrills, never settling down. Clara became a successful businesswoman, admired but feared, her heart locked away from love. Neither ever truly forgave Bella. And Bella carried the wound quietly, a scar hidden beneath her smile. At night, when the house was silent, she would hold Daniel's hand and whisper into the dark. Some chores don't just change loves, they shatter them. Her love had chosen her, but it came at the highest cost, the bond that was meant to last forever.